sisters. This is Chuck. Chuck's off the grid world. Today I'm going to show you 3 different ways you can winterize your motorhome, your RV. There's going to be the easy way, the hard way, and then there's, of course, there's Chuck's off the grid world way. Let you decide which is the best way for you. Thank you for watching. Hello brothers and sisters, this is Chuck again. I'm going to talk about winterizing the motorhome. Like I said before, there's 3 different ways to do it. We can do it this way right here, which is you take 2 $100 bills and you take them down to the RV dealership and you just kind of rub them together like this and snap. The second way requires this, which is an antifreeze, this, which is an air compressor blow valve, and this, it's just special on my own unit. This is to buy 4 or 5 of these in order to put in your tank. So it's going to take, this costs $3.98 at Walmart. It's good for 50 degrees below zero, and it's I've been using it for years and it works just great. You can spend a lot more money than that for it. You can spend $8 or $10 for a gallon of this stuff, but when I'm doing my job, I only use 1 gallon. When you're doing it the other do-it-yourself project way, it requires 4 or 5 gallons. So we're going to go through each different one. First of all, we're going to go through my way of doing it. Thank you for watching. Nico, she wants to help me do this job. Mary's away right now, and so Nico's my bodyguard. Grace, which usually sits at the hula dance, sits up here. She had a little incident with Nico, and she's in repair right now, so I can't video her. She's in a little hospital. Thank you. But first thing we need to do is go back to where your water pump is. On mine, the button for the water pump is right there. See, a little red light came on. That means the water pump is on, and so if you turn the water on, it will flow. Okay, now I got to turn that off, so I just hit the button which says water pump. Button's off, lights off, water pump's off. I shall prove the water pump's off by turning the water on. See, it'll, a little bit of pressure, it'll come out for a moment or 2 and then it'll quit. Okay, alright, now second step is I'll take you outside here. It's windy outside, and I hope this video is okay because of the wind. I did put the sock on the camera, so maybe it'll be okay. You gotta locate your hot water heater. This is the way I do it anyway. Didn't say it's the best way or the only way. This is my way. This is a hot water heater. Okay, now this is the drain plug for the hot water heater. What I'm going to attempt to do is release the water out of the hot water heater, which is, to me, is the most important thing, because if this hot water heater freezes, gets cold and freezes, it'll break, it'll crack for sure. What I do, I release this so many times that I just leave the tools inside here. Here's the ratchet and the socket. I don't know if I can do this one hand or not. You know, I've been working on growing a third hand and a third arm, but so far I hadn't had much success. But a lot of these guys can do this one-handed. I'm not so good at it. Here we go. Okay, broke it loose. Now this water is going to come flying out of here. Let me shut this down for a moment. Thank you for watching. Okay, I'm back again. Because there's 6 gallons of water in this hot water heater, I just don't want it to flow out here on the ground and possibly freeze. Someone slip and fall on frozen water. So I'm going to try to capture a little bit in this 5-gallon bucket. I don't know how successful I'm going to be, but here we go. This is going to come flying out of here relatively slow at first, and it's going to get faster and faster. Okay, set this back up here. Now, in order to make this come out faster, if that was my concern, all I had to do is open a valve up inside the RV, but this is fast enough for right now. I'm going to go ahead and talk about the next thing to do, okay, as that is draining out. Next thing we need to do is find the low point in the RV. It'll be clearly marked on most rigs. On this, in my case, it's underneath this cover right here, which is where my black and gray tank are located. Okay, it says right there, low point. Well, there's 2 valves right there and right there, and they come underneath here. I can't find, yeah, right there, and I'm going to open both of them up. Okay, see the water come out there? What that's doing is draining all the water out of your lines. All your hoses in your RV are made of this stuff right here, which is an ABS plastic or PVC plastic of some sort. It's plumbing plastic. It's stuff that they're doing in the newer houses as well. I do need to open this valve. This is a little extra hose here. I need to open both those valves up to release any water pressure that's in there. And there, open them all the way up, and just go ahead and leave them open. That's the key, to leave them open. I'm going to go ahead and leave these 2 valves open, and then I'm going to shut this door, and it's starting to rain. Okay, we're back on this side of the RV again, and that's cold rain. Look at the water spitting out of there now. She's kind of oozing out of there. But the next thing I need to do now is to open this bay here. What you need to do is get in your owner's manual on your unit and see what it says about winterizing your vehicle. If you can find it. Mine's in the trash somewhere. No, that's not the truth. Okay, this is my water tank here. Yes, if you can see it, it's about half full. In order to drain the water tank, I have to open that valve right there up, and the hose comes out. It's right here, and it'll drain out this water. I'm gonna wait a minute to do that. Okay, the water's just about finished out of this hot water heater. The key here again is to leave this off. Don't put the plug back in. Leave it open. Just let it stay open. Close this lid here. Again, I need that 3rd arm. Sorry about the camera. There we go. Okay. I'm going to shut this down for a moment and regroup. Thank you. Okay, again, now that I've drained the hot water heater out, I got to work on this holding tank right here. So what I'm doing, I'm using this bucket just to capture some of the water so it doesn't make an icy mess. So this valve right here, open it up, it'll automatically start draining out. There you go. So while that's working its way to fill that, I'm going to go back inside the RV And I want to start watching a little NASCAR on TV. But, I'm going to start open these valves up. What you want to do is you want to open your valve up on each of your spigots. That one's open all the way, Okay, there's one. This one here is in your bathroom. They're both open. Okay, and I need to open this shower, or this toilet one here. That's where the rubber band comes into play. Okay, I'm going to shut her down again. Thank you for watching. Okay, you might be asking, where does this rubber band come into play? Well, this is where it comes into play, right here. I got to put this rubber band on this little water spigot here. Again, I need a third hand. I don't think I can do it here, but I'm going to shut her down. Thank you for watching. Okay, I put the rubber band on this spigot here, and so what it does is it releases the water pressure in the line. A bunch of water came out, made a mess over here, and I cleaned it up. But there's a reason I did that. It's because otherwise the water in this line stays in there. If it stays in there and it freezes, well, it can break. Well, I had that happen one time, and it broke this housing right here. It cracked it because water was in that housing, and it was a white one at the time, but I replaced it. I think it cost less than $10, but it's an easy fix. But it surprised me when I went to flush the toilet and the thing was leaking, spraying all over the place. But I had that problem. The reason I had that problem is I didn't blow the lines out with compressed air. I also had another problem with the toilet because I didn't do the same thing. I didn't blow the lines out. There's a valve right under there that I had to replace. It was less than $20. It was easy to replace it, except for the fact I had to pull the toilet loose and to replace it. But it only took 15-20 minutes to do it, and it was less than $20, and it came with a new gasket for the toilet, which was good. So both pieces are original with the motorhome, so it makes them over 15 years old, and plastic just gets weak after a while and easily breaks. But it was my fault because I missed one of the steps, and so I'll show you that step later on when I get the water drained out. Thank you for watching. Hello again. I believe the next step you need to do is step on your toilet release. That just releases any water that could be in there in the toilet itself, and you don't really need to do anything about that. Leave that open, because if you leave it open, what will happen, your toilet will be open all the time. You don't want that because you'll have to get fumes and such. And I got these two open all the way. Next thing to do is get into the shower. This is our shower head here. Take this down and put it down on the ground. Well, the reason you're doing that is because water will get trapped in this hose right here, low spot. Water get trapped in there, and if it gets trapped in there, it'll freeze and crack. Well, this particular spigot is a aftermarket spigot, and you can turn it on with this switch or turn it off. See, that's on right there. I'm going to leave it on so the water will drain out, and it'll continue to drain. Leave it down on the ground like this so it'll drain out. But part of the problem with that antifreeze is it'll discolor plastic. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's kind of discolored, that plastic. You can clean on and scrape on and do whatever you want to do, but it just doesn't come clean after it gets that antifreeze on it. Okay, so that's that step. We got the bathroom taken care of, and well, most of the bathroom taken care of. Going back to another step later. So I'm gonna shut this down again. Thank you. This is actually where I put the fresh water in and put the hose in and put the fresh water in. I'm just going to blow this line out a little bit. All I'm going to do is take this right here, put it down inside there, kind of cut it off with my hand a little bit, and just blow it in there. What that's doing is blowing some of the water that's left over out the drain hole on the other side where the tire is. One of the first things I opened up. Okay, now next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the other side where you put the fresh water in, and I'm going to go ahead and put this cap back on. Now I'm going to go ahead and you don't have to leave that cap off. You can close that cap, keep the dirt and stuff out of there. Then I'm going to put pressure on the other side. Thank you for watching. So what I'm going to do is I take this little deal right here. You can buy them at Walmart for $3.98. It's probably on Amazon for maybe about the same price, I don't know. And you kind of screw it into there. Doesn't have to be a tight fit. Take this little rubber cap off, then you take this, stick it down in there, and shoot some air through there. And what that's doing is pushing the water out this whole drain hole. See how it dripped out of there? That was all the water that was in that line. And so there should be no water left in those lines now. Thank you for watching. Okay, brothers, this is where this RV and marine antifreeze comes into play. It's minus 50 degrees and it's biodegradable. You can actually drink this stuff. Although I have never done that, and I don't intend to try it, but they say it's safe to drink. But I'm going to show you what we're going to do with this. You might be surprised. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up and I'm going to pour it in my bathroom sink. Okay, I'm not going to pour a lot. I don't know if you can see, about that much, probably fine. You say, well, why are you doing that? Well, because I'm going to show you under here. This is called a P-trap. And what happens, water sits in there in that P-trap, and the idea of having that water sitting there is to keep the fumes from your gray tank or black tank coming up. And so there's always water there. So you put a little bit of antifreeze in there to keep that water from freezing and possibly cracking this hose. There's really no way, that pipe, I mean, there's really no way to blow that line out that I know of. It makes it too difficult anyway. Second thing is, I'm going to put some down your toilet. Okay? I'm going to open the toilet valve up and I'm going to pour maybe a quart down there, because I've drained. I forgot to tell you, you need to drain your gray tank and your black tank before you put your antifreeze in. So I put about a quart of it in there, and then I'm going to leave a little bit on top right there. One reason for that is just keep the seals from drying out. Close down the lid. Next thing I do, I'm going to shower, and I'm going to pour some down this valve, this drain right here. And that's how I get it splattered all over this bottom, and then it stains the floor. I'm going to have to clean that up here a little bit. About the same amount, just a little bit. Okay. Next one to do is remember, you got to have these valves open. I didn't have it open. Do as I say, not as I do. They're open now. Okay? Might want to double check yourself. I do. I need to double check, triple check myself. There's Nico hanging out right there on the couch. The NASCAR race is still on. It's 221, 68 degrees outside. and no, it's 68 degrees inside, 68 degrees outside, but it's supposed to get down to 28 tonight. So that's to a point where things can freeze. Okay, now we got to kind of do the same thing to this kitchen sink. Pour a little bit down the sink. Oh, that sink's dirty. That's embarrassing. Should have cleaned that up. I'll clean that up here in a minute. We just got back from being out on the grid for about a little over 2 weeks, and we haven't really got back to clean the place up yet. It'll happen. Okay, so that's done. We got about 3/4 of it left. Or I mean, we used about 3/4 of it. We got about 1/4 of it left. That's about all you need to do in Chuck's way of doing it. The reason I'm not putting this, normally if you take it in and you take these two $100 bills into the RV place, they're going to disappear, and they're going to put some of this in your fresh water tank, and it's just the way they do it. Is it the best way to do it? Maybe. I don't believe so. I don't think water freezes if it's not there, and I blew all the lines out, so there's nothing in the lines to freeze. So, and if you keep the valves open on your spigots, well, water, if it happens to be a drop or two in there and it freezes, it won't crack anything because it goes, it's not locked in one spot. When you have a problem is when it's locked into one spot, and then it wants to freeze and crack something. But another problem with going this route here, taking it into a dealership, you can't just take it into a dealership. A lot of times you have to have an appointment. Well, today's supposed to get down 28. There's no way I'm going to get an appointment on Sunday to take my RV in and have it winterized. This ain't going to happen. And so I think you're better off to do it yourself. Now, another way to do this project yourself is to do it this way with the antifreeze in the water. Well, that creates an additional problem. Problem being, for one, you have to go back and close all your valves, and then you have to put either pour this into your tank, or I'll show you outside here just so I'm clear. Okay, come on, Nico, you need to get back out of the way. Good girl, you stay in here. Good girl, you stay. And let's see if I can sneak out here. Okay, good girl. On some RVs, what they have is they actually have a way to, a hose will come out of the tank, and you take the hose and you put it into this, and then you turn a pump on, it'll suck it into the tank. Okay, well, that's all fine and dandy, but my rig doesn't have that. So in order to put water back into this tank, into this tank, I'd have to do it the same way I'd put water in it. I'd have to put it in through this right here. Okay, I have to pour it in there with a funnel. Right, that's all fine and dandy. And then you'd have to turn the pump, make sure all your valves are closed, and you'd turn your pump on, and then pump it up through all your hoses. Well, there's a problem. The problem is we've drained all the water out of this hot water heater. There's 6 gallons in there. Okay, you have to put the plug back in there, of course. You have to fill that hot water heater up with this antifreeze, which would be 6 gallons in itself. So it'd take about 7 gallons to accomplish that. Or there's another way to get around that. Now, I can't get that one-handed right now. Still working on growing that third arm and third hand, but so far no success. The way around that would be underneath the sink. For my RV anyway, my hot water heater's underneath the sink. There's some valves. You can turn the valves off so the water doesn't actually go into your hot water heater. And And so then you'd only need to use perhaps 2 or 3 gallons of this. Well, that's going to cost some more money, but I've been doing this for 15 years. I've had 3 motorhomes, and I've only had 2 lines freeze, and I told you why, because I didn't blow the lines out. If you blow the lines out properly, I don't think you're ever going to have a problem. But that's Chuck's way to do it. Chuck's off the grid way, but I'm not saying that's the best way. You're taking advice from an idiot, so I don't think you want to do that, but you make that decision. So, well, thank you for watching.